Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, DC Fandome edition. Today, we are going to be going over DC Fandome that concluded over the weekend, give our thoughts, predictions on the things that we saw with trailers, concept art, and things of that nature. For DC Fandome, comic books, we got the captain, Mr. Byron Mitchell. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I am doing very well today, sir.
Man, you know what's crazy? Over a year ago, DC Fandome was the second episode on the L7C podcast.
Yep, and it was my first episode.
And your first episode.
A year later, here we are.
How do you feel about that? That was your first episode, and now, I don't even know what episode this is. Probably what? You're probably in the close to 100. Like, have you done 100 episodes? Maybe.
I was actually wondering about that today. I kind of want to take some time and count how many episodes everyone has done. Might make that a special project.
Hey! I'll drop that at the good old end of the year pod coming up in December.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, let's get right into it, man. DC Fandome, like we said, just happened this Saturday, and it's looking like they're gonna make this an annual thing. Like, it's gonna be legit. Last year they had it because of COVID, like prime COVID. This year they had it again. I don't know if they're going to keep doing it and making it virtual, or they're going to actually rent out a space in the future and have make it a DC exclusive Comic-Con type thing.
I think in the future, if COVID cases die down and we have COVID under control, I could see them doing this as a yearly Comic-Con type thing where they invite fans and just have a all-day event, previewing trailers, had different booths of things. I could see that.
So a lot to go over. Video games, TV shows, movie trailers. We're going to start off with the video game news, give our thoughts on that, go to the TV shows that we're going to talk about a little bit, give our thoughts on that. Then we'll go into the movie trailers and then give our thoughts on that and keep it moving. Byron, man, let's go right into the games. There's only two big games right now, to our knowledge, in DC that got unveiled last year: Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League. Gotham Knights, they had their second trailer and stuff like that. You saw more Court of Owls. You saw more of the other characters. You saw more of the bad guys. You see Nightwing talking to Penguin saying Court of Owls aren't real. So you know that the Court of Owls are now the official, looking like the main bad guy of that game. They still did not give us a release date. They gave us a release year. And at the bottom of the screen that I saw, it only had PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, which, I think that's a problem, since most people can't even get a PlayStation 5 right now. So if you're trying to have the most sales and only limiting it to those two, that's just my opinion. So Byron, what do you think? What do you think about the Gotham Knights new trailer and them going forward?
I actually like the cinematic trailer because it showed us more of the Court of Owls and gave us another villain and Penguin. Because I remember last year they did gameplay. I think we were fighting Mr. Freeze as a boss. So it's good to see, that, like you said, the Court of Owls is probably going to be the main villain, and then there's other side villains like the Penguin in there. So I like that aspect of the trailer. My biggest gripe is that there was no release date. And because it was actually supposed to come out this year. And then I believe it was June or July. They said, well, we're not going to have it out this year, but we'll have it out next year. So I was really hoping that we would get a release date, because they pushed it from the end of this year until next year. So hopefully we'll get a release date in the next coming months. But that was my biggest gripe about this release. But overall, I did like the presentation in the trailer.
I don't think, maybe it's just me personally, I don't think this trailer was better than the first one.
It definitely was not. But I like how they expanded the story with this one.
Yeah, agreed. Now the next one, Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League. Rocksteady coming out of the woodworks, making another game on this one. You saw a lot more. You saw Waller. You saw the Justice League. You saw Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern. You saw the Batmobile, but you did not see Batman. You also saw if you've played the Arkham games, when you're the Arkham like Asylum, like sign and stuff like that. Which I'm interested why they didn't show Dark Knight. But that was looking crazy. It's looking like that game's 2022, 23.
I believe the trailer said 2022, so hopefully they stick with that date. Because I know last year they said it was coming out 2022, so it looks like they're sticking with that release year schedule.
Yeah. So, what did you think of that trailer? And it's looking like the Justice League is going to be mind controlled, and then Waller's going to get the task force has to try and take them out. Which are we really going to be killing them? I know. Are we really going to be killing them or no?
I don't think we'll actually be really killing them. Like you said, it seems like they're being controlled. I think they're being mind controlled by Brainiac because of the purple eyes. And we know that Brainiac with Injustice 2, like when he was controlling people, like their eyes turn purple. So I think they'll eventually try to be like breaking Brainiac's mind control to get the Justice League back. I think the trailer looks good. Definitely like the look of the trailer and then releasing like the characters of the Justice League, because in the first trailer we just saw Superman. So it looks like there's going to be more of the Justice League in there, which I like a lot. I have a feeling this might be like Marvel's Avengers, where it's like a 4-person squad. That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting from the game, but we'll see when they eventually release gameplay of it.
Yeah, because so far we've only seen like the 4 people of the Suicide Squad. We haven't seen anyone else. So I'm interested to see what members of the squad will be there. And then also just throw it out, everyone thought about rumors. There was no Injustice 3 at DC Fandome.
No.
So
I didn't think there was going to be, but if it was, it would have been probably one of the most hyped video game trailers at DC Fandome. Maybe next year at the next Fandome.
I don't know, Byron. I know I had a lot of high hopes for the video games coming in. I felt a little disappointed just because like DC was really owning video games for the most part of the 2000s, like the late, especially the Arkham series and Injustice and all of that. But now Marvel's come out with Spider-Man, Avengers, Miles Morales. We just talked about a couple weeks ago how now they got a Wolverine game coming out. They got Spider-Man 2 with Miles and Peter and Venom in it. You got Guardians that's coming out this week or in a couple days or whenever that's coming out, the 25th, right?
Yep, next week.
Yeah, so next week. So like Marvel's really, and then like Marvel's Avengers, who, I mean, you were very active players in that. They update that like clockwork. I mean, so like just seeing what all Marvel's been doing and DC just shows the 2 games and don't even give us like, I'm like, by the time these come out, who knows what stuff we'll have from Marvel already?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think they could have done more with the video game trailers. Definitely have some gameplay in there because, like you said, Marvel has been killing it in the video game department the last couple of years. Because I think the last DC game we got was Injustice 2.
Yeah.
And that was what, 2017?
Yeah, unless you count Batman Arkham VR, which most people did not play.
I didn't play because I don't have VR. So about 4 years, and you only have 2 games coming out next year. So it's kind of a little but we'll see. I mean, the 2 games could have a big impact and take that DC video game title back. But right now, like I said, Marvel is killing it in the video game department.
Right. Let's go to the small screen with the TV shows. We won't go too much into it. Arrowverse shows Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow, which we were talking before recording a couple of weeks ago. They just sprung on us because their new seasons have officially started as of right now. Batwoman season 3 is going. Legends of Tomorrow season 7 is going. They had their little trailers, like what to expect in the season. Legends of Tomorrow, they're going to have their 100th episode. And I know there's a lot of critics like 7 years ago who thought Legends of Tomorrow would never even get to season 2. And here they are with maybe a chance to have more seasons than Arrow, depending on how season 7 does. They could tie with a season 8. We don't know, but that was crazy stuff too. Superman and Lois didn't have a trailer. They had like a come see the Kent family farm type deal. And just staying with the Arrowverse too. Supergirl, they had their tribute for 6 years. because they are coming to an end. Just think about that. Legends of Tomorrow went longer than Supergirl. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. Like that's a Trinity member. That's crazy to think about. But the biggest thing that wasn't shown Arrowverse wise at DC Fandome, which was actually shown today of recording, was the Flash trailer for Armageddon. Last time we did superheroes, you guys heard from us talking about how Flash just came out of the woodworks on the internet. We were just like, what the hell? And they said, we're starting with a 5-part crossover. X, Y, and Z's coming back. We're like, all right, Fandome. We were all hyped for a trailer. They did not drop it. You even said you were going to get ready to cuss them out on here. And then Tuesday, they dropped the trailer. My biggest thing, why'd you wait till Tuesday when you could have dropped it on Saturday?
Yeah, I definitely think they should have dropped it on Saturday because that's what DC Fandome is for, to preview the upcoming movies, TV shows, video games, comics, and whatever. So I think it was a little disheartening not to see it at DC Fandome when Grant Gustin and Candace Patton were at DC Fandome promoting different stuff. And they said, oh, we got some Flash news. Gold boots are coming to the Flash costume. I'm like, yay, that's cool for like comic book accuracy, but we all want to see a trailer for Armageddon. Where is it?
Well, they dropped it today on our recording, lucky us. And it was interesting because it's like, the main bad guy's coming saying he's been looking all over for Flash. So I'm like, if you've watched Arrowverse, you've realized most of these crossovers do revolve around Barry Allen. So it's like, and he's telling me he has 7 days to live. And like, I'm like, oh, well, I mean, come on, man. We fought the Anti-Monitor. Like this guy, we're going to have to see some feats from this guy to even make us scared. But Barry goes, you see him go to the Hall of Justice, which we haven't seen since Infinite Earths, and calling some help. You see Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning come there. You see Mia Queen. We're going to see how that goes future-wise. Batwoman. You see Brandon Roth, the Atom, coming back. You see Ryan Choi. Like, you see them all. Like, those people. I'm pretty sure there'll be more surprises, but it was a good 1-minute trailer to get you hyped for November. What'd you think of the trailer?
I've watched that trailer like 10 different times. I am so excited for Armageddon. I'm excited to see this villain. I think from what I was reading, when they first broke the news of the 5-part miniseries, I think he's like an alien coming to invade Earth. So it's interesting to see what he's going to do because, he's got to do something crazy if they get a retired Jefferson Pierce to come back and suit up.
And get so that's Mia Queen from the future.
And get Mia Queen from the future. Side note, she should have her own show. So DC, if you're listening, CW, greenlight the Green Arrows and Canary because we need it. But I'm very excited to see. I got chills just seeing like all the people returning. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, and that comes in November. I know you said you weren't expecting a Superman and Lois trailer. I was though, because it just ended in so much heat, and I'll be coming back sooner rather than later than when we think about it. But that was with the Arrowverse stuff. No new. There's the Naomi show they had their first trailer. I'm interested to see how that ties in because that's the show that got greenlit over Green Arrow and the Canaries and Painkiller. So it already has that. I already have very high expectations for it since you got greenlit and the other two didn't.
Yeah, I need that first season to be heat like. Not like Superman and Lois because that was like one of the greatest first seasons ever. But I need that show to come with heat because you could have greenlit Painkiller, who was hard in the season 4 of Black Lightning, or you could have greenlit Green Arrow and the Canaries, who had that little teaser episode in season 8, and that left so many questions that are now unanswered. So I need Naomi to show out when she comes.
And then going to other shows, we got trailers from our wrestling, our guy, John Cena. We got the Peacemaker full trailer. It's kind of crazy that he is getting a season in itself. For anyone who watched Suicide Squad, I was very mad at my man, John Cena, because he actually, spoilers, killed Rick Flag. And I actually really liked Rick Flag a lot. So it'll be interesting if this is like a redemption thing. It seems like he has issues with his dad. So yeah, I mean, it has John Cena comic relief. So that'll be very interesting on HBO. Green Lantern, the show, Byron, we didn't get a trailer. I was expecting it, but we did not get a Green Lantern trailer from HBO Max. And Young Justice season 4, they said they're coming, and they actually dropped 2 to 3 episodes on HBO Max after the announcement. So, and Titan season 4 is getting renewed. So that's really, I mean, any other shows, Byron, that we missed? What are your thoughts on some of those?
The Peacemaker trailer looked really good. I think it's going to be a great season. As John Cena as a comic relief, he did really good in Suicide Squad. So I'm excited to see, what the season holds. They have the Vigilante, Adrian Chase. We know him in the Arrowverse as Prometheus. But it's going to be a different Adrian Chase. So I'm going to have to get used to him not fucking up the Arrowverse. But I think it's going to be a really good season.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I think that's really with Young Justice. I was surprised they just dropped the episodes just like that. And Titans going season 4, and so we'll see what's going forward. Got some movie news. Wonder Woman 3 is a go. Patty Jenkins and them, they're directing that. Blue Beetle getting a movie. I was very interested in that. I've always wanted Blue Beetle in the Flash TV show, but he is getting a movie, which, hey, drum up the interest, show him where he's at in the universe, and go from there. We did get first looks, some stuff at Shazam and Aquaman 2. And actually he started DC Fandome, didn't he? Black Adam. We got first looks trailer. We'll start with those 3, and especially Shazam and Black Adam. So Black Adam, rocking them. They started DC Fandome. Like, his tagline for Black Adam has been, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. You saw the trailer. You saw what The Rock looks like as Black Adam. What do you think?
First off, he looks amazing. The suit looks good. In the trailer, he literally fried a guy with one hand. So he looks like it's going to be powerful. We got a release date, which is, I believe, July 29th of next year. It's funny that we get a release date for that, but not any of the video games, but whatever. I think from the teaser trailer, it looks good. We'll see who the villain is, because we know he's going to be the anti-hero. I believe he's going to be the anti-hero, because I know they're having the Justice Society of America or Justice League, one of the two.
Dr. Justice Society, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, they're going to be in there.
So we'll see. I'm excited to see what it is. Hopefully we'll get a more of a trailer, probably, I would say, early next year.
What'd you think of that? His counterpart, Shazam, who his first movie was really good. Now we have the second movie. It's going to be the whole Shazam family trying to get some gods of their own. And what'd you think of that trailer? I mean, the first look that we actually did see some footage and all that.
I like the first look. I didn't know who the villains were going to be, so it's good to see that Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are going to step in the villainous roles. And they're great actresses, so I'm excited to see, how they do. The costumes look amazing. I think the first look was great. The only gripe I have about this movie, and I've said it multiple times, is how do you finish production in 2021 when we don't get the movie until 2023? That doesn't make sense to me, and I need someone to explain that. But otherwise than that, I'm excited for the movie because the first movie did really well. Blew my expectations out of the water, so I was very excited to see what they do in the second movie.
The only thing I could think of is that Black Adam's movie has to go before it because he'll be maybe making a cameo in theirs.
I can see that, but I'm going to be really disappointed if he doesn't.
Right. What'd you think of Aquaman? What'd you think of their strategic thing about having Amber Heard talk?
I think that it's probably a great thing that she didn't say anything. But the first look looks great. That black suit Aquaman just looks amazing. I like the first movie, so I'm excited to see what they do in the second movie. I don't know who the villain is, the main villain. I know Black Manta. Black Manta will be back. So Orm, but I don't know if they're the main villains or side villains. So I'm excited to see, what direction they go with that story.
Side note, just swinging back to TV before we continue with the movies. Forgot to mention Doom Patrol season 3. They got their mid-season trailer. Batman the animated series is getting like a successor. So it'll just be Batman, no Justice League. So that'll be interesting. Don't know how.
Forgot to mention that Smallville is actually celebrating their 20-year anniversary.
Yep. Happy 20-year anniversary to Smallville and OG, who started it all for superhero TV around the world. So 20 years, which is wild. And if you watch Crisis on Infinite Earths, you actually got to see the OG, Tom Welling and Lois on that as well. Sandman season 1 got a first look. So that was cool on that. There's also going to be some DC animated movies. Injustice, the movie just came out today. And there's going to be some other ones with characters like we know Constantine, who is getting played by our guy, Matt Ryan, the animated way. I just feel like if Constantine, there's no one else on planet Earth who should play him. But
yeah, he does a great Constantine.
But Byron, man, let's get to the big guns. So Flash, we finally got a real trailer for Flash. You see Barry, you see another Barry, you see Kara, Supergirl. You see them throughout the trailer. Flash suit really good. You see them, and then you see the cow. You see the back of a cow, and you hear the narrative. It's Michael Keaton's Batman, and man, like we don't know who we're fighting. We don't know what's going on. What do you think of the Flash trailer?
Man, it is great to hear Michael Keaton as Batman again. Yeah, I'm so excited that he's returning to the cowl. Supergirl looked great. We only saw like a little bit of her costume, but it looked great. Was not expecting 2 Flashes to show up in the Batcave, so interesting to see how they interact, and I'm sure it's like a future Barry that comes to help. I know, like on the internet, like one of the biggest gripe is they feel like it's more of like a Batman movie instead of a Flash movie. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I've seen that too because he was the end thing. But I mean, I think it's a big deal bringing like Michael Keaton back. And shoot, we didn't even see Ben Affleck in the trailer because he's in the movie, from like what everyone said. So we'll see what a role he plays. And Byron, man, I'm gonna give a hot take. It's probably going to be wrong, but movies lie to us in these trailers.
That is true.
I think that back Flash in the trailer, not Ezra, the fake Ezra, whatever, next to Supergirl on the side, I don't think that's going to be him. I think that spot will be Grant Gustin.
Oh.
I think that will be Grant Gustin in that spot because if you've watched Crisis on Infinite Earths, they've met. I feel like Grant has to be in this movie if they're doing Flashpoint, trying to connect everything. So I feel like that back part would be Grant because then also Grant would finally get to meet Batman.
I can see that. We'll be disappointed if it's not.
I will be too, but what I've learned from Marvel, Avengers Endgame, especially Infinity War, they lie in them trailers.
That is true.
And then what really ended DC fandom, really, we got the next trailer for the Batman. Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson. Byron, take it away.
That trailer is heat. Like, I thought the first trailer was fire, but that second trailer, oh my God. There is so much going on in that trailer. I think it's like a 2.5-minute trailer, but they show a lot. You see Colin Farrell's Penguin. You see a bulletproof Batman suit. There's just this one clip at the end where the Penguin says, I got you, Batman, and Batman is coming out of the fire. Oh my God. That trailer is so hard. You get to see Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman. I'm excited for it. And we get a release date, March 4th of 2022.
Yep, March 4th, 2022 gives time to get right if you're getting ready for that movie. So with the trailer, I mean, it was a very good trailer. Like the ways things were shot, all of that. That was really good. I mean, in March 4th, and it's going to be in March too. So it's really, I mean, there shouldn't be any other superhero big movies to contend with it. So I think it's going to do really, really well. My biggest thing, I will say for the people to slow your roll a little bit because they're basing off the trailers like, oh man, this is going to be the best like superhero movie ever. I was like, okay, relax. Or this is going to be like the best Batman movie ever. I'm like, okay, relax, people. Let's get to the movie and let's actually watch it. Because we've seen when we've hyped these stuff up, a la Dawn of Justice, like, and then it doesn't live up to our expectations. Because everyone can make a super sweet trailer, but what's the rest of the movie supposed to be? Because it's supposed to be close to almost 3 hours. So we're about to see, man.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have my hopes up that it's going to be like the best Batman or the best superhero movie ever. I'm just excited to see what they do with it.
Right. Like I'm super excited. Like I watched the trailer again this morning. Probably gonna watch it later today when I do some other stuff. Like, I mean, it's just like in the lines in the trailer. Like when the dude said it's not just a signal, it's a warning. You're just like, oh my gosh, this guy really means business.
That, I mean, I'm excited. I think the Riddler is a good like first villain for him to face. Hopefully, if this does well, we can get like a trilogy, another Batman trilogy. But and I was very interested to see like in none of the shots they show the Riddler's face, so I'm interested to see why his face hasn't been shown.
It's interesting, man. It's gonna be real good. But just circle back to, since we're talking Batman, circle back to TV. Forgot to say Batgirl Leslie Grace. If you watched In the Heights, Nina, she said she'll be having her red hair in that, and then they tease that the real Batman is going to be making an appearance in that show. Don't know if they're serious or not. Like, is that a little hint that we have our new DCEU Batman since Benny A is done because he quit, or is Benny going to be? Is like Benny going to come back? Like, what are we doing?
I have no idea.
I feel like that hint's going under the radar that people are not talking about enough.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be good if Benny A came back to the Batman fold. But maybe they have a new one. I don't know. It's a very interesting line that the real Batman is coming.
Yeah, I wonder how much this will be connected to the DCEU and Flash's movie. Byron, I'm gonna throw some quick hitters at you before we end it off. First one, were you disappointed that like Henry Cavill like wasn't there? Like how his Superman is like coming to like an abrupt end, basically.
I wasn't expecting him to be there, so I wasn't really disappointed that he didn't show. It's just like you said, it's weird that it's like coming to an abrupt end. Like there's no talks of him being in the future as Superman. I mean, I've heard rumors that they're trying to replace him as Superman. I don't know what the truth is, but I wasn't expecting him to show up because I know there's like no Superman movies or his character in any upcoming DC movies.
Favorite movie trailer of Fandome?
Probably the Batman.
Favorite TV news or trailer?
Favorite TV news? We didn't actually hit on this, but they confirmed that the live action Static Shock is in the works. Produced by Michael B. Jordan. So that's probably got me the most excited because I love watching Static Shock growing up. So I'm interested to see how they do a live action version.
Biggest disappointment of Fandome?
Gotham Knights not having a release date. If we're being honest.
Oh no, that is perfectly fine. If you give Fandome a rating 1 out of 10, what'd you give it?
I'll give it an 8.5.
Okay. Byron, anything else from the DC world that we are missing. I know that sooner or later we're gonna have to hit up our Marvel side, because we still haven't given our little reviews on like Shang-Chi, Venom. We got Eternals coming up, so you will hear from us from a Marvel side in a couple of weeks. But anything else on the DC front?
Checking my notes. I think we covered everything.
Okay. I mean, yeah, with the release dates with the video games, you got to get that done, because you got to let people know. You can't just say 2022. You got to give a release date, because if you're only doing it on the new systems, you got to give people time to save money.
Actually find someone that has the PS5 in stock. There's a lot that goes into buying a game for a new system. Like with PS4, like they were like in stock. They've been in stock. It's very hard to not find a PS4, but with PS5, since it was produced during COVID, the stock has been super low and they come in batches. So DC, if you're listening to this, you got to give a release date if you're going to only have it on the new systems.
And the scalpers out there. A few things I wish that Fandome, I wish we would, I'm going to keep saying it, wish we would have saw John Diggle in a Green Lantern suit. Want to know how that's going. The trailers for the movies, I mean, Batman, Flash, Black Adam, they got everyone hyped. So that's the important thing of these events. I wish we had a DC movie coming out this year, but we don't. But we do have the Arrowverse's Flash starting off with a crossover, so that'll be good enough. Still wishing they had one more video game, because Marvel's just coming out effing waves. But besides that, I think it was really good. I do like that they have it. I like that it's free to watch. And it's from IGN. You have good connection on there. So yeah, maybe one day they'll be in person. Byron, anything else before we close shop?
I can't think of anything. Like I said, I think we covered everything about DC Fandome that I had written down.
Well, with that being said, thank you, Byron, for being on talking Fandome.
Actually, I do have something.
Oh,
today. If you saw our Twitter, we reached 2,000 listens. So thank you, everyone, for listening to our podcast. Now we've been in this thing for about a little over a year. Little over a year. My first episode was DC Fandome, so I'm glad that I got to come back and release the news of 2,000 listens. A year later, we got some great content coming out. Just keep listening to us, guys. We got some good stuff. And thank you for your support.
DC Fandome last year, August 27th, 2020. Man. Yep. But yeah, man, we hit 2K. You're probably going to hear it a lot from the next couple episodes. And when the other episodes come out, because some of them got recorded before we hit 2K. So yeah. Thank you everyone for the support and all of that. Thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast, for digging all the content we do. Keep digging it. My only last thing, because it was yesterday and I might do something later on in the weekend, 10-year anniversary of Batman Arkham City, that truly revolutionized the superhero video game genre. So shout out to them. And with that being said, thank you for listening to the L7C. You guys take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.